All right, guys, welcome back to another week of me learning the Bluegrass flat picking guitar. I'm really excited about this week. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like I've made progress on. There's a couple of things that I'm working on learning that really hasn't anything to do with Bluegrass guitar, but it has to do with guitar in general. We'll go over all of that, show you some new strum patterns that I'm learning. The G scale, got it memorized, going through, getting ready to learn the C scale. We'll try to memorize as many scales as I can. With that being said, let's get started. So just to recap, last week I talked about doing cross picking, which I'm still practicing, and it's going to take a while. Of course, anybody I've guessed that ever done this knows, and everything that ever comment that I've seen that says this takes a while. So I just keep practicing it every day for about 30 minutes a day. I'll just do the pick pattern. And go through that. For 30 minutes. I'll mess up and I'll start over, I'll do it again and all that stuff. Eventually I'll get to where I can move up and down the strings and hold chords with it and stuff like that. I know, but right now I'm just mainly working on getting that pick pattern. The next thing is of course, like I've said before, I've got my G scale memorized pretty much up and down the board. I'm not real fast with it. I got to get faster, but at least I've got it memorized. You know what I'm saying? I've got it ingrained in my brain. So. That wasn't the greatest going back through it, but I've got it memorized, and I do my up and down strokes with it. And like I said, now that I've got that down, I'm going to move on to learning like the C scale and different things, and being able to do them quicker and possibly learn them more up and down the fretboard. The fretboard's opening up for me quite a bit in the past couple of weeks. I'm a big nerd for music theory. Studied it a lot with the banjo, which it overlaps into some things on the guitar, which I'm excited about. Able to put what I know with the guitar, and it makes sense to me, if that makes sense. One thing I have been working on is bar chords, and I know you don't use bar chords a lot in bluegrass, I understand that, but my dad plays a lot of songs outside of bluegrass, and in order to play with him, bar chords will help out tremendously, and knowing how to get into them and out of them quickly is going to be a benefit to me playing with other people. I haven't studied real far into bar chords, and I'm not very good at it, and I can get into them and out of them pretty quick, and that's what I was talking about, learning the upper string here, or the low E string, and then the A string, the notes up and down that, because with these two bar chord shapes, I can get any note on those two strings. First one is, if say you take the E chord, right, but I reshape it to use this as a bar chord. So what I do is I'll take, and with my ring finger, I'll just bar those two chords right there, and then I'll put my middle finger down for the third note. And so that's an E there. So if I move this E shape down to, and I know this is the E chord, so that's an F. Oh, F sharp G. So if I move that bar chord down to this G, that's a G chord in that shape. So whatever this note here is on this chord is the root of that shape. So I can move here, go to a G, an A, B, C, D, and E all the way down the chord with that shape. Now the other shape is the A chord. So if you do a bar an A right here, that's an A, right? So if you take and do the same thing, if you bar those three fingers on the A, and then just move it down, whatever's note on this A string here will be the root note to the chord. So like A, B, C, B on the second, C on the third. So if I want to do, say, a C chord with that shape, then the same thing here. I bar the first 5 chords instead of 6, and then I put my A, bar those down there, right? Like I said, I ain't really good at the bar chords. I understand it, so I can work on getting my bar chords a lot better. But what's even cooler with this is like, say, if I'm doing the 6 fret deal here with the E shape with the bar chord, right? And this is a G right here. Well, all I have to do if I want the 4 chord is to go down 5 frets. So if the G is here, if I move down 5 frets to the C, that's the 4 chord in a G, C, D. Like if it's in the key of G, if you're playing in the key of G and I want to play with somebody playing in the key of G, then I just know that this is my root note and this is my G chord, my home chord, but I can go down 5 frets to the C chord and have my 4 chord, or I can go 2 more frets down from that and I can have my 5 chord there. Probably talking way too much about this right now, but it's just exciting to me, and so that's kind of where I'm at. All right, guys, so the next thing that I'm really excited about actually is the rhythm strumming pattern that I've picked up here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Up, down, up, down, up, down, right? That's great. Then here this week, I've actually gotten into this strumming pattern with the chords. So it's has opened up a lot for me as far as the rhythm goes. Now, I can do it on each chord shape, right? Changing from chord to chord, I'm working on, and that's what I've got to get down. I've got to the point where another thing that I've gotten into is hammering on the G bass, right? So that's something I've added into my repertoire to be able to practice and work on doing. One other thing, I've got a partial G run. I haven't really practiced a full G run yet, but I have got a partial G run that I can use at the end of a phrase. I'm not going to do it with the hammer on because it screws me up. So here we go. At the end of a phrase, I started working on being able to do that as well. Keep building and practicing and building. But I'm really extremely excited about that. I've also, over the next couple of weeks, I really want to work on getting all those fundamentals drilled in, the strum patterns that I'm going to use, changing from chord to chord. I've also, of course, got the bass runs, and that comes in from like G to C or C to D or D to back to G, all that stuff. I've got to work on my bass runs, switching from chord to chord, and that's what I'm really going to concentrate on over the next while. Once I can do that, I'm going to start pulling out songs that have whatever. I'm going to work on playing rhythm to a song and changing to a chord and doing some of that stuff, which I'm hoping over the middle of February. So I'm hoping maybe by the end of March I'll be able to not be awesome at it, but I will be able to, I feel like, play with somebody playing music and switch chords in between and sound somewhat bluegrassy. That's what my hope is. We'll see if it happens, guys. But anyways, I'm excited, and that's what's great about this, is the excitement that keeps you moving forward and keeps you wanting to learn new things. And I'm gonna keep practicing or keep studying into music theory. I'm going to further my knowledge in music theory. One other thing that I've been doing as well too, I've been doing a lot of ear training as far as listening to songs and trying to pick out chord changes and when they're going to a chord change and when they're not. All right, guys, I just want to thank everybody for the encouraging comments that's been left on the videos that I've been posting. Everybody is really encouraging, and that is awesome. Awesome. I really appreciate it. It's really motivating. Anyways, guys, we're going to get through this week and see if we can come up with something next week to show you all that we've learned. Thanks for watching.